Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun video, we are back in the workshop for 2025, kicking off a new year, a new season, so to speak, over here on the platform. Really excited. I have a lot of great content planned that you all will hopefully view and enjoy. I had a great time during my annual end of year break, and thank you all for bearing with me as I took Christmas and New Year's off to spend that special time of year with family, friends, and loved ones. Memories were made. We went to some Christmas parties. We drove around and looked at Christmas lights and just shared each other's friendship, relationship, and love with each other, and it was just a great relaxing time just to be away from the cameras and not have to drag them out to the shop each time I came out here to work on the few custom Christmas gifts that I did get to make behind the scenes. But really cool. The best way I know possible to kick off each year over here on the platform is with an updated shop tour. I just feel that is appropriate to reacquaint you guys to where everything is out here in the workshop and hopefully introduce it to some new people who might be clicking on the channel for the very first time. Shop tours are always very popular over here on this platform, and the workshop that I'm currently in was built by my late grandfather from the ground up. It is 12 foot wide by 24 foot long. It is neither insulated, heated, nor cooled, and I can tolerate the summer heat a lot better than I can the winter cold. That is why I am way more productive during the warmer months, and the projects we are going to document here in the winter might be a little more simplistic, but we're still going to be out here making hopefully creative content for you guys to see and enjoy. Now, the best way I know how to do a shop tour is to take the camera off of the mounted tripod and put it in my hand and just freehand walk around the whole workshop in a 360-degree manner and just quickly talk about everything. I don't want to draw the video out too long and bore you guys, but I am happy to be back out in the workshop kicking off a new year, 2025, over here on the platform. So let's get the camera off of the tripod, start at the shop door, and do a shop tour to kick off the year. And here is the outside of the workshop. It is still early morning when I am filming this video, but we will go in and we will shut the door. That way we can keep the heat that the wood stove is generating in the workshop itself. But as soon as you come in, you see the Scroll Saw Woodworking display wall, and then I will quickly do a panoramic view here all the way around. Again, I am doing this freehand without a tripod, so if there's any kind of wobbling, please forgive me for that. But we will go all the way around here. Once again, the workshop is 12 foot wide by 24 foot long, and usually I make a beeline right over to the scroll saw. This is the scroll saw that Rikon provided me with. It is the 10-622VS 22-inch variable speed scroll saw that they offer, and I am loving this machine. We've already made some beautiful and creative projects on this, and you guys know that I'm primarily known for the custom compound cut keychains using the Steve Good pattern generator that he offers over on his website. He never intended for the keychains to be compound cut. He meant those to be cut out of maybe a ½ inch piece of material in a flat two-dimensional manner. It's just the way that I seen the program, I immediately thought compound cutting, and I have made hundreds upon hundreds of those. All of them are custom and individual to the name that they are made for. But we will go back to the shop door, and I have my classic Godzilla poster on the back of the shop door. And coming around here, we have my late grandfather's Sears Craftsman 17-inch 16-speed 3/4 horsepower upright drill press. It's a little shorter than me. I am 6 foot tall, but this is a rock solid machine, and this is where I still drill out a lot of pilot holes for Scroll Saw Woodworking. I have all of the various drill bits I like to use over here on a magnetic strip by the door. Here is a sand and mop from Klingspor Woodworking Shop, and I just have various drills, bits, and accessories right here by the door. Here we have the poster from the Asheville store anniversary, and this was my very first official live demo for Scroll Saw Woodworking, so it meant a lot to me, and I asked the guys at Klingspor could I have that poster and bring it and hang it into the workshop. We have a Cartoon Network Wacky Racing flag here. Of course, I was a huge fan of NASCAR growing up. Right here by the drill press we have what I call my little hardware store, and it has evolved over the years. Originally it was just these little bins here, and they have all of the various parts and accessories I need. Here is a old scroll saw project video we done over on the Rikon scroll saw using bevel cutting, just showing off a scroll saw's versatility. I didn't have nowhere else to put it. And then we have some more Klingspor posters. I always try to get one whenever I do a live demo somewhere. There is some of my late grandfather's original hand tools, and he took a little nail head and put his initials in those to where he knew where his stuff was and who it belonged to when he was on a job site. And the cleavers were my late great-grandfathers. They had a farm and they raised pigs, and you guys know what they are for, hopefully. And I always get a lot of questions about the wood stove here. This was my late grandfather's as well, and right now, so I don't have to put the camera down, you can see it is crackling merrily, generating heat out in the workshop. But I always get asked, does it ever get anything hot back here on the wall because of the pipe being right there that goes up the side of the shop? And no, everything here is just lukewarm to the touch. I mean, I can even, you know, pat that pipe there, and I mean, everything is just lukewarm. So I'm always out here when the wood stove is on, keeping an eye on everything. But as we come around here, we have some of my new Craftsman stuff. We have the leaf blower, the weed eater, and the chainsaw. And the chainsaw is the newest addition. I really needed that as we got closer and closer to winter this year. I had just an old corded one that I drug a drop cord around when I needed to cut up stuff for the wood stove. So been using this a lot. And the weed eater comes in handy during the summer, and I can usually do the whole yard, front and backyard, with one of the thicker Craftsman batteries, and then still have enough juice in the battery left over to blow the grass clippings and leaves off of the sidewalk. Here we have the Chinlock for Chuck poster. Late last year, Chuck Coates, a very good friend of mine, came over to the workshop and gave his powerful story. And if you guys would like to see more interviews, just please let me know. I have a lot of amazing and talented friends that I'd like to bring over and just let them talk about their lives over here on the platform. Here is what I call the shop mascot. A local artist made this, and because I'm a local artist as well, I was happy to support another artist and give back to them, so I bought that. I think it was $20, that's US currency, and he has been hanging there ever since. And you can see, again, he's right near the wood stove pipe, and again, he's just lukewarm to the touch. There is my buddy Bill up in Pennsylvania, who also plays a pirate. Here is a little area showcasing some of the stuff that I like. Of course, I love the retro video games, so I have the Game Over sign there. I love Hot Wheels. They are very nostalgic to me. A buddy of mine made this pirate sign here and give it to me, so I'm very appreciative of that. And then, of course, Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. And then I have some 3D printed Wolverine claws here. They're just hanging out there. Of course, I'm a huge fan of the Wolverine character, but just really cool. Another signed wrestling poster there from a show that happened in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Here we have the sticker swap sticker box, and this was inspired by the one that Steve Carmichael had in his workshop when he was making videos. I hope he comes back to making videos, but I made that box out of some foam board and some scrap wood, and I put a disco ball motor on it, and every time you plug it in and unplug it, it'll turn one way, and then when you unplug it and plug it back, it'll turn the other. I never thought I would fill up the box, and there you see Steve Carmichael's sticker that I was just talking about, but I quickly filled up the box, and then the sticker swap sticker wall above the workbench was born. Here we have the various grits of sandpaper, and you guys know I primarily use 180 grit Klingspor Woodworking Shop sanding sheets in a vibrating palm sander to sand scroll saw work, because scroll saw work is very delicate and you don't want to use an orbital sander with that spinning motion, so I use this vibrating palm sander here. I believe I got this one at Walmart years ago. It was less than 20 bucks. And it is still going strong. And I always like to have the sanding sheets represented here because Klingspor has been so good to me. Here we have the laptop loaded in with the Lightburn software that runs the laser. And you guys know that I have started dabbling in laser content. Lightburn is the software that I use with all of the laser stuff you see over here on the platform. And I have a USB drive that I always have on hand. I need to put a key ring on it to where I can just put it on the shop keys, because this is the USB drive that I ferry back and forth from the house to the workshop, because I do primarily most of the design and work on the big desktop, and the laptop is basically just out here to run the laser itself. And speaking of the laser, here it is. There is my safety glasses. I always have those on when the laser is running. This is a basic enclosure that was picked up off of Amazon, and I have everything hooked up here on a power strip with a surge protector, and you can see once I flip it on, the lights and everything will come on the interior of it, so that will allow me to work. And then when I'm done, I can quickly just turn everything off. But the laser I'm currently using is a longer Ray 5 20-watt diode laser engraver. It has also produced, just like the Scroll Saw, a lot of amazing projects. There you see it, and there you see the vent in the back that helps pipe away the dust and the fumes and everything. And I just cleaned the laser head. The next time I do it, I'm probably going to make a video on that, because maintenance on a laser engraver is just as important as maintenance on any tool out in your garage or workshop, but it's also essential to keep it in an enclosure to pipe away all of those fumes. It is piped out the back. You can see part of the vent there, and again, all of that comes on when I flip on the power strip there. Here we have a white cabinet that was given to me by my aunt, and as always I like to decorate it with stickers. But in this cabinet is all of my Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazines, as well as the books by Fox Chapel Publishing. And then we have a printer my buddy Sam gave to me, and it's not connected to the computer. I just use it for the photocopying capabilities here. Here we have the stand that I made last year, and it was probably one of my favorite pieces I made last year, with a GoPro mount and a 3D printed mount that I can put the camera I'm filming with on to really get in close to things that I'm filming, like over at the Scroll Saw and the table saw. But here we have the Scroll Saw Woodworking display wall. It is packed with a lot of beautiful and creative designs. A lot of Steve Good designs here, as well as Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts and Fox Chapel Publishing designs. But I have also made some more advanced designs, like this Kenny Hopkins design here. This was also a Kenny Hopkins design here, this hot rod. And the newest addition has been this T-Rex portrait here that was a Russ Beard design. But the display wall here is just an evolution of everything out in the workshop, and a lot of my previous YouTube videos are up here on the wall as well. Here is my little lathe area, and it's just a basic Win 8" by 12" lathe, and it's primarily meant for pin turning. You can see I have the pin turning mandrel on it, and I've made a lot of pins, but I've also maximized the lathe and made a few beautiful goblets. Hopefully you guys think they are beautiful, just to try to elevate my skill set. And there is all of the lathe chisels, and most of them are the Harbor Freight brand, although I have gotten some nicer carbide tipped ones and a nice bowl turning gouge, just to where I can hopefully once again step up my skill set. Here is a can of Rust-Oleum clear gloss. You guys know I use that a lot. And then here is my sanding box, and I'd like to find a better place for that, but you know, it is what it is. All my sandpapers, sanding accessories and everything is right here at reach. And beside it, as you hear the train coming down the tracks in the background, is my rigid belt and spindle sander. My mom got this for me for my birthday a few years ago, and I use this thing a lot. It is a rock solid tool and very powerful, and it does have dust collection hooked to it, as well as the router table here. I'll just switch the hose around to whatever tool I need, and it is down here connected to a 1-gallon shop vac. There is the 2 Minwax wood stains I like to use to stain projects. I use a dark walnut stain for darker shades and a golden pecan for lighter shades. And what I love about the golden pecan stain is that it's light enough to still allow the natural grains and textures of the material you're shining to shine through. Here is my Craftsman thickness planer, as well as my Craig pocket hole jig. I use the thickness planer a lot, getting everything milled down to the proper dimensions. This router table here is new to me, should I add. It was given to me by my mom's friend who was in ceramic. They give it to me, and they had an older router in it, and I took it out and put my late grandfather's Craftsman router in it, and right now I have a straight bit in it because I made some custom picture frames during the Christmas season. Coming along here, we just have a magnetic strip with some various tools on it that are close at hand to me. Here is a portrait of me dressed up in the pirate gear. Right here is my marathon rotary tool that Sterling Davis gave me, and I use this tool a lot, especially when it comes to 3D printing, because you can really get in there with the little accessories and bits and everything and really sand up 3D prints, as well as the compound cut keychains. Here once again is the Rikon scroll saw, and I always tell you guys I love having an L-shaped workbench, because when I'm sitting here in my stool, I do sit down to scroll saw. I can easily set stuff aside when I'm scrolling. That way I don't have to keep getting up and getting down. And I do use a foot pedal, and on the second level of this work table you can see the compound miter saw there from Harbor Freight. I use that a lot, especially in the training room when we done the rustic pallet walls. And there is my 20-inch Delta scroll saw. A lot of people thought I got rid of that. It is under the workbench that the main scroll saw is on. And of course the scroll saw is on an angle to reduce neck and shoulder strain while scrolling. And of course on the side with some magnets, I have my 3D printed blade alignment jig, and this is an essential tool to have if you're going to do a lot of compound cutting, just like the keychains there. And I just have it close at hand with some magnets hot glued to it, and I do offer those if anyone is interested in them. But coming around here, we just have some other stuff. So generally when I'm at the scroll saw, here is my view. I like to decorate the area up here when I'm looking up doing blade changes. And then I have my very first YouTube scroll saw project right here above it. It was just my name, and I have hopefully came a long way since I made that. And I always keep it close at hand to where I can always be reminded of how far I have came on the YouTube platform. But over here we have a basic guitar amplifier, and here's one of the heaters. You might hear it in the background. And I have got it wired to a classic old school iPod. Music is the first thing I flip on when I come into the workshop after I turn the lights and heaters and all on. I love listening to music, and whatever I listen to, it'll vary just whatever kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes it's beach music, sometimes it's classic, oldies but goodies, you know, 90s country, rock and roll, classic rock, you know, just stuff like that. Whatever mood I'm in is the music I listen to. And then we have this piece here that was given to me by my buddy Ben, so thank you, Ben, for that. And then some just 3D printed stuff that I've made and put here just to decorate everything. Then we have the classic pirate skull and crossbone, and then a hand-carved router sign that my buddy Lou at Crosscut Carvings made for me, so thank you, Lou, for that. Here we have my name badge for the NC Woodworkers when we go and demo with them. And then I have this piece I made here. I'm going to slowly pan up it. It was just some scrap woods I had, and I was playing around with the laser. I love mythology and folklore and just urban legends and Native American culture, because I'm part Native American on my mom's side. So I was just engraving what each exotic wood represents, and then I put it on just a scrap piece of pine. Here we have my clock up here, which is a cobalt clock. And I'm going to walk all the way back down to this shelf here and just slowly pan around. I love to decorate wherever I'm at, whether it be stickers, memorabilia, autographs, hats, anything. But on the front of this shelf, I have tacked pictures of some of the inspiring people I have met along the way. And what I'll do here is just slowly pan down. Of course, you might recognize some of these people. They are YouTubers themselves, or very influential in the woodworking world. And you can also see some of the stuff up on the shelf as well. But I will go all the way down. I'm running out of room to put pictures as I meet more and more talented friends and individuals. Then we have my childhood teddy bear there, ready for St. Patrick's Day, and he's got his safety glasses on. But then I'm going to step back, and then here is the sticker swap sticker wall. This is a wall of motivation for me, and I originally started with this section here, then I added this section, and then there's a section there and a section there. And I still like to sticker swap with everyone. If you guys would like to sticker swap with me and get an Artisan Pirate sticker in your garage or workshop, but anytime I'm here on the main workbench and I'm holding something waiting for the glue to dry or set up, you guys know I use a lot of CA glue and activator and everything, but if I'm waiting for the glue to cure and I'm holding something, I just glance up here and I'm like, wow, my mind is blown by how many amazing and talented people that I have come into contact with out here in the workshop just making woodworking projects over on the Scroll Saw. Over here on the workbench, this is where I put everything together. I've got my bag of carrots here. Again, I'm trying to eat a little bit more healthy. Here is my cell phone, and when I'm in the workshop, I try to keep my cell phone face down on the stand. That way I'm not distracted. I've got my ice water out here and a nice Klingspor cup that Klingspor give me. And for whatever reason, I am collecting used scroll saw blades. They last a great long time. I guess I'm just seeing how long it's going to take for me to fill up that jar there. Have a Craftsman cup that Craftsman sent to me, and I used it a while before sticking it here on the shelf. I've got so many cups given to me. And then we have this nice skull jar with sand from Myrtle Beach, which you guys know is my favorite place to go to when I travel. And there is a Myrtle Beach postcard. But here is a power strip with an extra battery for my camera that I'm filming with, a cell phone charger, and then all of my glue. Again, I love using medium grade CA glue and activator to glue things together. It has basically never failed me making creative scroll saw projects. And if I use actual wood glue, I like to use the Gorilla wood glue. I've glued painted surfaces together, and the Gorilla wood glue dries clear. And I've got some in a small glue bot here. That way I can do like precision glue ups with that little tip on the end of the bottle. Here we have my GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 3. I believe it's the white edition. They had a black, silver, and white edition back then, and a spare battery for it, as well as the protective lens when I take the lens cap off. That way I can film the laser content and put the GoPro itself into the laser enclosure itself to where you guys can view and enjoy that. Here is the Seiko Scroller's Drill. I use this all the time. Seiko was kind enough to send this to me, and basically it is just a little mini drill press, although it does have its limitations because of the little base here. If you're trying to drill on something narrow, it will want to teeter-totter, but 99% of the time I will still use the Seiko Scroller's Drill. That is what the white tool is in the videos that you guys see me doing, and I have a backer board behind it to prevent blowout of the pilot holes on the reverse side. But a very versatile tool if you do a lot of scroll saw woodworking. But again, I will still drill out all of the pilot holes for the keychain over on the drill press just because of the small and narrow nature of the 1-inch square blanks that the keychains begin life as. Underneath the main workbench is a generator. Then we have the little mini fridge there, and that is what I have my carrots in, and extra bottles of water, an air compressor there for the nail gun, and just the air blower and the pallet nail gun that I use. Over here in the corner, since this is kind of hard to reach over here in the corner, this is where I have all of my cordless Craftsman tools and accessories. I'm a huge fan of Craftsman, and Lowe's is like 3 miles away from home, so it's just appropriate that I continue using Craftsman. My grandfather was a huge fan of Craftsman, and so am I. Here we have the banner for Klingspor Woodworking Shop and Rycom Power Tools. They sent me these to represent out in the workshop. And during the summer months, they are seen big and bold. It's just in the winter, the heater blocks some of them. So I try to always get the heater positioned to where when I'm filming here, you guys can still see the banners. Klingspor and Rycom go above and beyond when it comes to supporting individuals, makers, and woodworkers. And I thank them for everything they have done. Up here we just have a shelf with various knickknacks. There we have a custom scroll saw portrait of my late grandparents looking down on me. Here we have all of my various clamps when I make up a panel or anything. Here we have my scrap bin. Over Christmas break I was able to clean it up and get everything cleaned out. We have all the various exotic and hardwoods here for easy reach. You guys know I do a lot of compound cutting, so I like to keep blanks of wood. Here we have one of my grandfather's toolboxes, and I don't come to it often to get stuff, but it has various tools, wrenches, and accessories, and I know where everything is. Here is my grandfather's 16-inch motorized bandsaw. It is a classic 3-wheel Delta model. I just have that magnet stuck there, and it takes an 82-inch blade. It's still a great tool to rip down 1/4-inch material on, although I would like to upgrade it to where I can start doing milling capabilities, because the motor on that is not powerful enough to do that. But again, it's great to do 1/4-inch material. Here we have the Rikon table saw that Rikon provided me with, and this thing is so precise. Precision and quality. I really love this machine. I use it about every time I'm out in the workshop, and I can quickly and easily dial in to rip down the blanks for the custom compound cut keychains. I have upgraded to an Incra miter gauge here, and this is what I use to make the custom picture frames I made over Christmas break. Here is the basic tripod that the camera sits on, and when I set it on the tripod, basically there is the view that you guys see. Over here we have the area that is dedicated to my late grandfather. When he got older, he just did not like to have his picture made, so this is one of the few pictures I have with him. I think the back of that photo said I was either 6 or 7 months old. He was showing me some baby chickens he had hatched. I believe this was my first Easter. That is the reason for the poster, but for the picture there, that he was a member of the Beekeepers Association. There was his classic sign, his glasses, his Craftsman hammer, tape measure, and ruler, and one of the last hats he wore, he always had a ball cap on. And here we have various Rust-Oleum clear glosses and spray paints. I love the Rust-Oleum brand. I stand beside them. They make a quality product. Up in the rafters here we have the Wind air filtration unit, and it is remote controlled. I'll show you guys the remote control here, and you can easily just turn it on. You can set it to a time or just turn it off, so it's always on when I'm out here in the workshop working. And one of the newest upgrades here as we get ready to close the video, of course the table saw is connected to a Craftsman shop vac for dust collection, and I can also hook it to the bandsaw as well. Here is my folding clamp and workbench, and my little bucket of clamps there that I use to glue up scroll saw projects with. But I'm going to step back here. As I said, this is the major upgrade. I now have a counter and drawer space now. This took the place of the CNC machine, and I still have the CNC machine. It's on the property. It's just in a different building. It's just that I didn't use the CNC machine but one time in the year 2024, and I only used it 3 or 4 times in 2023. And just the need for floor space out here in the workshop, it was just an essential decision that I had to make. But if I ever need to use the CNC machine a lot more, it can come back out here in the workshop. But I'm still getting used to having this counter space to where I can put stuff to dry or take pictures of it and things like that. But I'm getting stuff slowly organized as I get used to it being out here. Of course, right now I have a little stack of wood to feed into the wood stove, and I just have an abundance of scrap wood that I just cannot bear to part with. Again, I just cleaned out the scrap bin over Christmas and New Year break. Here we have the little area dedicated to stuff people have given me throughout the years. If you guys give me something, a hat, a shirt, a piece of jewelry, a custom handmade piece, I will treasure it forever, my friends. I am a pirate, and not all treasure is silver and gold. Always please remember that, my friends. And there is another Klingspor poster. But if you guys have sent me something, it has been properly displayed out here or in the train room. And then here we have my Artisan Pirate banner. This is the banner I take with me when I travel, and I hang it from the balcony at the beach. I try to use it in my videos. Again, various hats that people have given me. The banners are available by the Custom Flag Man. $25 for a custom banner or flag. You can't beat that deal, and it's been quality. It is just now starting to show its age, where the grommets have come out just from where it's been hanging and flapping in the breeze down at the beach. But a really cool logo that my pops helped me create. It started life as a mud flap design. It had a little Joker hat on it, Joker face paint and everything like that, and we just cleaned and tinkered up the logo until we made it our own. And I'm thankful that I have a nice logo to represent the Artisan Pirate. But here we have some more hats and everything, and we've came back to the Godzilla poster. And then here we have a little area that's a new addition to represent some laser work. I make so much custom laser work now that I like to display everything that I make. There's a phone stand. That is why the old cell phone is there. That was an old laser video. That was an old laser video. There's a perpetual calendar that I'm thinking about coming back and making for a video this year. Here we have a bendable figure of Scrooge McDuck from the show DuckTales, and that was one of my favorite shows to watch after I got home from school, and I found him at a flea market. I think it was $3 or $4, and there is just a few more Hot Wheels cars. But that, my friends, is the Artisan Pirate Workshop. I thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully it wasn't drawn out too long for you guys to view and enjoy. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Of course, all of my contact links will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. But what I'm going to do now is put the camera back on the tripod, and we will close the video. And that, my friends, is going to about wrap up today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully it wasn't too long and I did not bore you guys. I just love talking about stuff out here in the workshop. But of course, with the nature of a video like this, I know in some way, shape, or form I glossed over something or skipped over something entirely. So if there is any questions that you guys have, please let me know down in the comments below. I'm always happy to interact with the people who support me, because without you guys viewing the videos, liking, sharing, following, subscribing, telling people about my work, I could not be standing here out in the workshop with the camera doing what I love to do. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You guys have no idea how much it blesses and humbles me that I'm able to do what I love to do. You guys know that I primarily focus on scroll saw woodworking, and that is the primary focus of the channel. Even though that is the focus, I like to document and showcase other things like the laser. I like to take the camera into the train room. I like to talk about my collections. I like to just share my life with you guys. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for continuing to tune in and ask questions. At the end of the video, when I was focusing on the banner, I kind of got tongue-tied and said licks, and I meant to say links are down in the description box below if you guys want to reach out to me. I always link all my social medias and contact in the description box below these videos, but I'm happy to talk to people about scroll saw woodworking, about laser engraving. You guys know I do a lot of 3D printing. I'm happy to talk about 3D printing. I'm happy to talk about the model trains or just things in general. If you want to strike up a conversation with me, please feel free to reach out, because I know without you guys I couldn't be standing here doing what I love to do. Thank you for all the support over the years, and I know the shop tour is always kind of a drawn out video, but just bear with me 1 second. If you guys would like to see the evolution of a workshop and see how it changes and evolves, go back and see my very first shop tour, to where I'd done the full workshop tour for the very first time. I know that was a very long and drawn out video because I had never done one, and I just kind of learned on the go over here on this platform. But then you will see how things have changed, how things have evolved, and how things have moved around, you know, just to where it better suits the workflow. And I think that's the same for any garage or workshop, for anyone who likes to work with their hands, to build stuff, to tinker on a car or anything like that. You're constantly changing everything to suit your workflow. But I thank you all for tuning in. Again, I had a great Christmas and New Year's break with family, friends, and loved ones, and now I'm happy, recharged, and energized to pick up the cameras again and rock and roll for 2025. I have hopefully a lot of amazing and creative content to bring to the platform this year, from scroll saw projects to laser ideas to just stuff in the train room, and sharing more collections, and hopefully we can get out and about to a few more parks, nature trails, or events this year and document those for the platform. As always, whatever you guys want to see and any questions you might have, please let me know down in the comments below. I love interacting with everyone. And speaking of interacting with everyone, if you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click the subscribe button and also follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links, I said it right that time, links to contact me will always be linked down in the description box below these videos for you guys to reach out and interact with me. But that's about all for this one. Thank you all for taking the time to go on the shop tour with me. I'm really happy to be back and excited for 2025. And remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.